bury it under new standards. You replace it with patterns that match your purpose, not because it's easy, but because staying the same is no longer acceptable. And what remains when you do that? Stillness, strength, simplicity. The trained mind doesn't spiral in doubt or chase every emotion like it's urgent. It doesn't stop to question every impulse or justify delay. It moves with calm conviction, knows what needs to be done, and it does it not recklessly, not rushed, but deliberately, because it's been conditioned through consistency, not emotion. Motivation isn't required. Movement creates the momentum. You don't sit around waiting for the perfect state of mind. You move, and the mind follows. The readiness shows up after you've already begun. That's real power. They depend on mood, on hype, on signs, but dominators, they build in silence. They don't wait for the world to catch up or the stars to align. They start, they move, they trust what they've trained. They don't rely on external push, they run on internal pull. Purpose becomes the engine, and that energy, it doesn't just power movement, it reshapes everything. Eventually the world starts to bend, not because you forced it, but because you became the kind of person it has no choice but to respond. Most people have that backwards. They think change starts outside. If their environment improves, then they'll focus. If they get support, then they'll believe. If everything lines up just right, then they'll begin. But life doesn't shift for wishes, it responds to standards. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate, meaning until you raise the standards quietly running the show in your mind, your life will follow the same script. Because the moment you start speaking from power, even quietly, you begin shifting the system. You start rewriting identity from the inside out. Say it and mean it. I'm already in motion. Don't talk like a struggler trying to keep up. Speak like a builder. That's how the shift begins. Not with hype, not with motivation, with repetition. Over and over, not just in what you say, but in what you do. What you rehearse becomes what you remember, and what you remember becomes what you act on. You don't become a new version, yourself. The action, the tone that aligns with the person you're becoming, you strengthen a new path over time. That path becomes instinct. That's how identity gets installed. That's how your future gets built, one groove at a time. So echo power, not just when it's easy, not just when things go your way. Constantly, through every thought, every action, every quiet decision, let your energy carry the message. I know who I am, and I know what I'm building. Most people don't even realize they're echoing doubt. Rehearsing fear, speaking from a place of resignation without ever questioning it. But not you. You've seen too much. You felt the pull of something deeper. You look where others avoid you, build where others hesitate. You don't wait to be picked. You start paving your own path. To do that, you have to stop reacting like a follower. You have to stop giving the world permission to shape your emotions, your pace, your focus. That power, it's yours. Take it back, not with noise but with presence. A grounded, unshakable presence that doesn't ask for approval. Think like a force, move like a decision, speak like someone who no longer negotiates with weakness. And no, that doesn't come from confidence. Not really. Confidence is the side effect, the outcome. Inner power doesn't need to announce itself. It's not about how loud you are or how perfect everything looks. It comes from clarity, still, focused, immovable clarity. And clarity doesn't show up by accident. It's earned through commitment. So reclaim it. Reclaim your morning, the untouched space before the world floods in. That's where your edge sharpens. That's where you find stillness and set your direction. No, not if it. Protect yours like gold. Train it. Strengthen it. Keep it on what matters. Because Aristotle was right. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Focus is your habit now. Intention is your new baseline. And if you want a real edge, it's your ability to stay with yourself longer than the world can distract you. Your ability to stay grounded when everyone else is chasing speed. It's your depth, your stillness, your calm. When everyone else is spiraling, that's not a disadvantage, that's your armor. So when it gets hard and it will, don't pull back. Don't mistake discomfort for a problem. Most people do, but resistance isn't a stop sign. It's a signal. It's the exact moment where transformation begins. The moment your past self would have turned around, now you lean in. Growth will never feel soft. It feels like tension, like friction, like the edge of who you were rubbing up against, who you're becoming. And Carl Jung said it clearly, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. It's not just theory, it's truth. Growth costs something, and that cost is pressure. But pressure is what builds the strongest minds, the sharpest awareness, the deepest clarity. So when it comes, don't run, don't resist, use it. Let it shape you like a chisel, sharpen stone. Let the losses carve wisdom. Let the setbacks build patience. Let the tension refine your focus. A trained mind doesn't resent the storm. It adapts to it. It integrates the pain. It turns everything into fuel. That's the difference. Suffering waits for rescue. Power rises from the fire and keeps walking. Understood? Here's the revised version with a smoother flow, reduced reliance on questions, and a more declarative tone. This isn't the kind of power that needs to be loud. It doesn't show off. It doesn't try to control anyone or anything. True power is steady, quiet, centered. It speaks through presence, not performance. When you walk into a room carrying it, people feel it long before you say a word. Socrates said, the greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. That kind of power isn't borrowed. It's built. It doesn't chase approval. It doesn't seek permission. It simply exists because it's real. This version of you is not the result of luck or perfect timing. It's the result of design day by day. With quiet focus, you chose to construct who you are, not with noise, but with deliberate action. Like a builder with a blueprint, you laid the foundation with intention. You stopped pretending to be strong and started training to be. Every thought became a brick. Every habit, the cement holding it all together, and every emotion, yes, even the hard ones, was turned into fuel. The process isn't glamorous, it's not always visible, but it's powerful. Self-talk becomes structure, habits become armor, and when weakness tries to creep in, there's no conversation, negotiation. You remember the standard. You stay aligned with what you're building. Excellence isn't a moment, it's a rhythm. Aristotle understood this. We are what we repeatedly do. Power isn't found at the top. It's built at the base. You weren't made to merely get by. You were made to command your direction with intention, to give generously, not from depletion but from abundance, to raise the bar, not because the world owes you something, but because you've earned the identity of someone who leads. And you lead not with ego, but with groundedness. The training never stops. It's daily. It's deliberate. Over time, repetition becomes transformation. When the mind is conditioned, everything changes. Thought patterns shift. Decisions become cleaner. Words carry weight, and life slowly starts to respond, not out of coincidence, but as a reflection of who you've become. This kind of power doesn't force the world to change. It compels it. The world doesn't change when you wish for it. It changes when you change. At the level of thought, belief, identity, train your mind, and the rest will follow. If this resonates with you, there's another video on the screen right now that I think you'll want to watch next. It goes even deeper. Thank you for being here and for being part of Stoic Journal. This space is for those who think deeper, move slower, and build stronger. I'll see you in the next one. Same clarity, same purposes. Stay steady.